what's going on, everyone? I'm here today with Madalina Tutuianu.
Yeah, that's her name.
I'm excited to have her here today. She's a very, very impactful person to our business. Just a little bit of background about her. She did about $14 million or a little over $14 million last year as a solo agent at Keller Williams, that's a lot of business if you guys don't know. She did about 30 flips, a mixture between wholesaling and fix and flip, which is, again, impressive. And, she has investment property in Romania.
Yeah, I have an investment in Romania and a few in here in the United States, and I'm hoping one in Dominican Republic.
Awesome. So a lot of great things that she's doing. It has a lot of good things going on. So I wanted to, glad to have you here today. And
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome.
And I'm excited to see what am I doing now?
It's all good.
Fucked up. You could cut this, right?
Yeah, you cut it.
Okay.
All right. So let's get into it. So let's talk about your background, because I think that's the most interesting thing about you is the fact that you're from a different country. So get into it.
So I moved to I actually first came to United States in 2013 as a J1 student. I really liked it. I came in the next year and again as a student, and then I went back and I loved it so much that I actually decided to move here a year later. So in 2015, I moved in the United States, and
how old were you at that moment?
21.
21, okay.
21 or 22, one of the two. But I don't remember. But it was, and it was a great journey. It was different, but I took the risk. So
yeah, I can imagine like some of the challenges that you had adjusting to the culture of America. I don't know if it was easier or harder, but just the language barrier alone, talk about how you adjusted to that.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke English all my life, but obviously I have an accent still, and my accent back then was even stronger. And there was a lot of the words I didn't know, and the culture was different, and it was a big, big adjustment. My family was away, my friends were away. When I moved here, I thought that a lot of my friends that we came as students, they're going to move, and it happened that I didn't get the visa to move. So I ended up being the only one, and that was interesting,
Wow.
Yeah.
So 21 years old, you're in America, and what did you do next? Like,
well, I was here. I actually had a boyfriend, an American boyfriend back then, so we moved together. His family helped me get a job, and I got a job. I remember my first job was a barista at a coffee shop.
Okay.
So they sold me the American dream, let's say it that way, because his family and him were telling me back then that I could get an office job. I have a university degree, so I was hoping that I'm going to work in Philly or somewhere, not in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
But I ended up working as a barista, and then I ended up getting another job because I wasn't getting paid enough. And I got a hostess job and I got a server job. So I was working 3 jobs, 7 days a week, no day off.
Wow.
And I did that for like 3 years.
Gotcha.
Straight.
So you were hustling, working your tail off.
Yep.
Making probably minimum wage or,
I was making,
trying to figure it out.
I was making $3 an hour as a server, plus tip, obviously. As a barista, I was making $10 an hour. And I was actually a barista. I was a cleaner for that place, and I was a cooker and a manager. I was doing the schedule for the other workers.
Wow.
So for $10 an hour. Yep.
That's crazy.
Ventnor.
So at what point did you say, all right, I got to change my life? Like, did you accidentally get into real estate? What was the next step for you to get?
So I was, eventually I got a very cushy steakhouse job.
Okay.
For Robert Steakhouse in Hot Rock back then. And then I was still working at Carmine, so I was going back and forth as a server there and a bartender in the other place. I was making pretty good money. I could say I hit 6-figure by just doing that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't, but the same, no day off. I was just working.
Okay.
And it just happened, something, and one of the jobs fired me. The other one, I said, I'm done. And my agent that sold me my first house, she impressed me, and I was like, you know what, I could do this. This is not complicated.
Yeah.
And I started doing it.
Wow. All right. So you bought a house while you were starting to do well at the steakhouse. So did that pique your interest when you were like looking on the market, trying to identify what kind of house to move into? Did you look at it as an investment?
Yes. Yeah. So I said to my agent, I don't want a remodel house. Okay. I want to get my hands dirty. I want to make this house the way I want to make it. Okay. And I don't want to pay somebody like to make money off of me, kind of thing. I was a bit like of European mentality back then. So I didn't know anything. I didn't even know what's an HVAC. I didn't know what it was, ductwork on a house. The roof, I didn't know that's shingles on the roof. Like, I had no idea. Houses in Europe are different from houses here. So I got into this fixer-upper in 2018. It was just a mess. It was mold in the house. It had plumbing issues. I had to remodel the whole kitchen.
Wow.
I didn't know any contractors. I thought that I know better, but I didn't. So, but I made it. I made it happen, actually. I got myself in a lot of debt doing that.
Yeah.
But I made it happen. I changed the roof. I did new HVAC. I did new plumbing. I did new kitchen, new bathrooms, flooring throughout the house.
So you did everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was literally like 25 back then. So I was like, it was a crazy journey, but I made it happen. It was fun.
So you got your crash course right away into the construction world.
Yeah.
You were buying a house that was distressed a little bit, needed work. So you could see like where it's heading.
Yeah, so I loved it so much. And then, I become an agent. What I loved the most about being an agent and working with her, that I could go to people's houses.
Yeah.
It was weird. And foreclosures and all type of homes. And that caught my attention. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. And I see different houses and, different styles in people. And I don't know, it started inspiring me. And I wanted to do it more. It was kind of like an addiction.
Yeah. And it seems like you were already in the people business because you're a server.
Yeah.
You're at the barista business before that. And it's just like an easy transition. Plus, it seems like you're starting to grow some passion about real estate.
Yeah.
And now I could talk to people and make way more money if you become a super agent.
Exactly.
So
yeah. So then I just switched to real estate. I went to school. I was in unemployment for a little bit.
What year was this when you?
2018.
Okay.
2019 I went to school. I'm sorry.
Okay.
2019 I went to school.
Okay.
And I went to real estate school, and then from there I just started basically little by little, like learning more. I wanted to surround myself with people that are like-minded, but I didn't want people that are like the same level as me. I wanted people that are like 10 levels above me, right? So I could take my business to the next step. And I wanted to get into investments because even that, it was so much stress on me when I did that house, my first house, right?
Yeah.
I was 24. I wasn't 25. I was 24, and it was so stressful. But I remember that I said, like, listen, I need to get out of my comfort zone. I need to do this. I need to push myself because it was cushy with my ex-boyfriend. I was at his house. He had a pretty house. His family were all over me. Like, it was easy. I wanted something that was hard. So that's basically when I got into real estate. I wanted to be with these people that are successful.
Yep.
So I could, again, get out of my comfort zone. And even that I don't know anything. Like, when I tell you nothing compared to these people, nothing. I was clueless. But you know what? I was sitting there and listening and asking questions. And, I remember I told the guy that owns my office, I was like, listen, I want to flip a house like you. How do I do that?
Okay. So that guy, was he the first person that you gravitated towards and saying, I want him to kind of, whether he knew it or not, like show me the way or show me the way he does things? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And he was a flipper and he owned the brokerage as well.
Yes, he owns my brokerage. He's a flipper. He had a bunch of rentals on his own. And he got me a coach. He got me a MAPS coach, it's called. It's basically a real estate coach.
Yeah.
And she helped me too. She taught me a lot when it came to the real estate world and helped me overcome objections and helped me overcome my limited belief because I did have a lot of limited belief inside me. I didn't believe in myself as much as others did. So she helped me out a lot. And then he told me, just find a house. And he's like, I don't have to come up with any money. I'll flip it with you. Just find a house. And I was on the phones every day. And I found a house.
Wow. What year was that when you found your first house?
2021.
2021. Okay. So COVID hit right before that. How did you adjust? Did it help you? Did it hurt you during those years?
No, it helped me. It helped me because at the beginning when I first got into real estate, I did get a job at Borgata. I was working nightlife.
Okay.
So it was weekends working at Borgata to, I have bills to pay. And at real estate, when you first come in, you don't make a lot of money. So I was doing the job at Borgata and I was doing real estate. When COVID hit, everybody got laid off. And that gave me 1,000% of my focus on real estate. And while people were sitting at home on their cushy couches and watching TV, I was trying to, scale my business. So that's when I started going, after people. That's when I started calling people and being, coming from a contribution point of view.
Right.
Hey, are you okay? Is there anything that we could do? We did a bunch of, we had people, we went and dropped off baskets of food or toilet paper because it was not toilet paper.
Yeah.
So that's how it kind of helped my business grow.
Gotcha. So how were you generating leads at that time? when COVID hit, you know, obviously you have a mentor kind of in your broker.
Yeah.
You're obviously calling people. Like, did you start learning how to identify distressed sellers or how to market to homeowners?
No. So that's one thing they didn't coach me in at the beginning, distressed sellers.
Okay.
They were coaching you mostly towards people that have equity and they might have a high probability to move, right? So it wasn't pre-foreclosure or anything like that. So what we did, we're calling people that own their house for 20 years and they're older. And there was a high probability they're going to
So a very niche list that you were pulling.
Yeah, and also these people that were older, they're a little more concerned about their health.
Mm-hmm.
So you're calling them and be like, hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? You know, you just become friendly with them. You help them out. And then you'll be on top of their mind if the idea of selling comes up.
Right. And so you were on the phones calling these people all day long.
Yeah, in 2020, that's what I was doing. And I had a lot of buyers and sellers, and that's how my business.
And your coach helped you learn the sales script. And okay. Were you working for anybody or just yourself at that time?
I was with this guy, with the broker, the guy that owned my office.
So he was helping with that?
Yeah, he was helping me too. Every Tuesday, he was coaching me.
Mm-hmm.
We had a team. This Russian agent girl, she was there before me. She helped me out a lot too.
Okay.
They had a very good processing team, so they're processing for me. So they took away the processing from me, and that helped me focus one thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's big for sure. So at that point, how many deals were you doing like in 2021? It sounds like that's when you really started to figure out the business. Like 21, 22, was there a inflection moment in that time where like your business just took off?
So in 2020 is the first one I started taking off. I sold, I think, 30 houses, but that was basically my first full year in 2020.
That's a lot of houses though, as a new agent. Yeah,
exactly. I was a new agent, so I was just getting my feet wet. And then in 2021, I went from 30, I went to 55. So I went but remember one thing, I got bronze in 2021.
Which is how much is bronze?
That's not a lot. But remember, the average sales price back then was $200,000. So to sell that many houses, and that's when I started getting into investments with investors.
Mm-hmm.
And they were buying $30,000 homes. Now $30,000 homes don't exist anymore. But back then, they were a thing. So I sold like 55 houses. I sold like 8 million or 9 million back then in 2021, which was a lot for me being a new agent and with the low sales.
That's a lot of transactions.
Yeah. And 2022, I probably sold another 50 but higher price point.
Okay.
I think it was like 12, 13 million in 2022.
Okay.
And then last year I sold 14 a little bit.
Gotcha. So out of all those houses, let's go back to 2021 or 2022. Between the 35 to 55, would you say that a lot of those were from a couple investors, or were you actually like marketing to regular sellers and getting a couple of their listings as well? How was like you generating those listings?
So I guess people saw the hungriness in me. I was hungry. I was very like all day in the office, like 9 a.m., 8:30 a.m. to like 5 p.m. I was the last person to leave, the first person to be there. So agents start liking me a lot, agents that are very successful already. And they didn't want to work with buyers or with these investors that want to buy $30,000 homes, right? So they're like, oh, give it to Madalina, So they start giving me clients, and some of them, they want to refer, like, to pay them back some money. Some of them just pass to me. He's like, I don't care, just have it.
Gotcha, yeah.
So I started getting a lot of referrals, and I started going on Mojo, and I started calling people. And I remember I got one lady, I got 6 or 7 transactions from her.
Wow.
Just one lady.
Just from a call?
Just from a call.
Wow.
She's like, how did you know I want to sell my house? I was like, I didn't. But, it was great. So that's how I started getting a lot of my business. And a lot of these, and I spoke Spanish. So I got a lot of Spanish-speaking clients, investors.
Yeah, how many languages do you speak?
I speak Romanian, English, Spanish, and I used to speak Italian, but if you don't practice, you forget. So
Gotcha.
I know a few, like, hey, how are you? And
That's impressive. You lived in Italy too, right?
Yeah, I did.
That's interesting.
It was fun.
Yeah. It's amazing. So you can see, so right now you got a lot of newbies that are hitting roadblocks, whether it's limited beliefs, whether it's experience, they don't have the right circle. I think you're a great example to tell people, like, listen, I'm from a different country, right? I didn't have any advantages. You latched on to someone that showed you the way, and you bought in, you worked your tail off, and you're here now. Like, the type of numbers you're doing now between your flipping, your real estate agency business, it's very impressive. And, like, you're only getting started because 2019, that wasn't too long ago.
Yeah.
That you're kind of new still, and to be putting up numbers that someone 20 years in really should be hitting It shows a lot of character from you. I think your culture plays a lot of part into that because the Americans, like we're a service-based industry.
Yeah.
Like everything's service-based where, in other countries, you got to work with your hands,
Yeah.
It's not as poor. They don't have the same advantages as us. So I think you're cut from a different cloth.
Yeah, and you come with more ambition, I think, than people living here. People take a lot of things for granted, and that's what I see in the new agents that come in. They come in and they feel like everybody should hand them stuff. Hey, there's a lead. Hey, there's a client. But I didn't come with that mentality. People started giving me stuff because they saw that I was hungry and I was actually putting in the effort. So that's the wrong way to look at things. You should just work on you first and have a set goal. What do you want to do? Whether you want to work with investors, $1 million homes, just find somebody that could guide you because that's the most important part.
Yeah, I think that's some good advice right there. And your story alone should inspire people to say, hey, listen, let me stop making excuses and get out there and put you might not have success your first year and you might not be as driven as someone like you, but at the end of the day, it's going to work if you make the calls. To me, I tell my guys, if you get on the phones, as long as you're talking to people, you're going to make money.
Exactly.
But if you're sitting there on your phone on Instagram making excuses, I can't help you. Unfortunately.
There is no way that you're going to make money. I mean, listen, there's people that they make money off social media, but we are not in the business that we're going to make a lot of money off social media. We're in the business that you actually have to put yourself out there and meet people, and build relationships with either with agents or people like you or, other investors or, even investors that they just focus on rentals or anybody, bank, like asset managers from banks, anybody, including lawyers,
100%. I'm listening to some book now. It's called Letters. Was it the Rockefeller Letters? He wrote letters to his son. There's really no sequence or path on the story, but they just read the letters and he tells his son that you got to take action. That's the number one thing. If you're always worried about, if you have fear, and a good example is you bought your first house. That house, right? Think about who your neighbor was. Your neighbor introduced us, and we started doing business together. You never know what these
opportunity.
What's gonna branch off? If I give you this $30,000 listing, most people don't want it. What happens if I meet a big time investor? You don't know what that leads to.
Yeah, exactly.
You fix up the house. Guess what? You don't meet Matt, and Matt maybe doesn't introduce us. You know what I mean? So. That's crazy the way things work.
I found a post which was pretty cool. I'm going to read it to you. I saved it. And it just reminded me of my mindset. It says, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So I always say it's not necessarily it's luck. It's you took an initiative to do something. That's what created your luck.
Right.
A lot of people says about certain investors, hey, they're millionaires now because they got in at the right time. Yes. But they did take the action at the right time. They did take an action.
Exactly.
There was an action behind it. Yes, it was awesome if maybe I had the finances and the capital that I have today. I had it back in 2018. Probably I'll be way higher than I am right now.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's never too late.
No.
Just take that step.
You got to start somewhere, and you got to be consistent. And you just sold a deal for us, and we made $350,000 on it. But in my head, some people would be they're lucky. They're how many times we, how many pieces of mail, how many cold calls we made.
And thousands of dollars I spent.
Yeah. And we probably talked to a million people just to get that one big deal.
Yeah.
Because we're consistent. We got, a little luck, but
it's consistent.
We wouldn't have had that luck if we didn't put ourselves out there.
But that's exactly the action that you took.
Yep.
The preparation behind the luck. Because there is no... I don't think there's no you're not going to sit on your couch at home watching TV and somebody's going to drop a bag of money on you. That's not going to happen.
No.
And exactly. You'll be oh my God, I was so lucky the money came from the sky.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. So.
100%. Another question I have for you, because now that you're becoming, people don't even know about you. That's the crazy part. And, you're one of the biggest investors I know. And not mention you're a female, right? That's any gender. But being a female investor, what are some of the challenges and advice you can give other women out there that are looking to, take it to another level or maybe have this limited belief that this is a male-dominated industry?
It is a male-dominated industry. It's true. But that doesn't mean you cannot do it. And I think the reason that it's a male-dominated industry is because most of the males are, the females usually, they have kids, they get distracted with family and they don't do much anymore. They step back, right?
Right.
raising the kids.
Yeah, biologically, you're at a disadvantage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is mostly. But that doesn't mean that once your kids are grown up enough, you cannot do it. You know, you can still do it. Or if you don't have kids and if you feel like you don't know what you want to do and you have a little bit of capital or you have an idea, run it out by people. You know, you never know what's going to turn into it. And it doesn't mean anything if you're female. You're holding yourself back. Yes, you're going to find, you know, people that are, especially contractors, they're going to discredit you. They're going to be there and be like, oh, she's pretty, she's young, she doesn't know. Let me quote her for a house like 300,000 renovation, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like, and you look, to me, I look at them and I laugh. And I was like, I might be young and I might be a female, but I know what, I know what the numbers are. This is not my first rodeo. This is probably my 30th, my 40th. I know how much it should cost. So I think that's the biggest hurdle as a female. So sit in front of a male and tell them that you know what you're doing, and you tell them respectfully and put that boundary, you know, put that wall. And I feel
1,000%.
Anyone could do that. I don't think there is a, you know.
Half the battle is earning people's respect and having enough credibility, and so they don't take advantage of you, right? And being a female, you're already against the wall, or you know, you're behind. You got to figure out a way to make it an even playing field.
Yeah.
And it's unfair a lot of times.
But you could show them that you know what you know. You know, you could show them that you know what you're talking about. You come in a house and you're being very specific, and they know by the way you talk. So it doesn't happen to me as much as it happened, like, let's say 2 years ago with contractors to tell me, hey, this house to renovate is like, I don't know, $150,000, when I know in reality $75,000. So I tell them, like, okay, explain me this number. I sit down with them and I'm like, okay, well, this is exaggerating. Like, it's okay, I'll find somebody else. And once you tell them no and you find somebody else and they see that you did it, then they come back and they apologize and they'll just do it.
Yeah.
Next time they don't do that anymore, you know?
Exactly.
It's a small area too, you hear in a bigger area, but in Atlantic County, we know each other.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
you're a big fish down there. No.
Yeah. No, I'm a small fish in a big pond. That's what I like to say.
Yeah, definitely are. All right. So, what are some of the pros and cons for you, being a agent, but also being such a heavily involved in flipping houses and being an investor? Is there any? Like, what's the cons to that? Would you say?
The cons of being an investor agent is that you cannot do certain stuff as an investor agent. As an agent, you still have a fiduciary duty at all times, right? So when you go in a seller house and you know that in reality the house is worth $300,000 and they want $150,000, right? You can't be going there and be like, okay, I'll buy your house for $150,000. Because this guy could turn around and you have to disclose that you're an agent at all times, and he's gonna feel like you've hidden the actually value of the house.
Yeah.
So he kind of holds you back from some opportunities, you know. I think that's the biggest disadvantage of being an agent and an investor.
Gotcha. Okay. So right now, what is your best way to find deals? The market's like really challenging for most people. How do you find deals? Like, is there a certain like secret that you can give people?
So I'm a little crazy, so I go and knock on people's doors.
Yeah.
Like if I drive by your house and I see your house looks like caca, I'll knock on your door. You know, you might have a reaction, but how many times you see like a, you know, girl like or a woman coming to your door and gonna be like, I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen, right? They're gonna either say no to you and that's it, or they'll take your car, they'll call you, or maybe, who knows, it's gonna turn into a deal. For me, it worked.
Yeah.
It works.
And being an agent too, you can go up there with like a little later, like, hey, listen, looks like, you know, not to get in your business, but you need like there's deferred maintenance here. Things are going to have to get done. I'm an agent. If you ever are looking to sell your property, I'm also an investor. So like having both those options is, you know, it's a good way to approach. Where I would go in like a bulldog and be like, I want your property right now. They might throw me out of the, off the porch.
That's the thing. It's gonna be like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
You know, like you want to, so I think that's an advantage. I think that's an advantage to be an investor female. Mm-hmm. There you go. I found an advantage for it.
Yeah, there you go.
People are more receptive to me than would be to you. I mean, nothing against you.
I guess it depends who answers that door. You know?
Yeah, it depends. Because if it's a woman, might be more receptive to you than to me, but it's okay.
That's true. So what's the biggest loss you've taken in the business, whether it's a deal or investment, whatever it is?
It's the Summers Point house. I always say that house is going to always haunt me. Pat Sheck sold me that house. Thank you, Pat. It could have been a great deal, but I think we messed it up big time.
What would you have done differently from the start?
I would have fired all the contractors and just hire somebody else. It's the contractor that messed me up. Because they are good, but that house needed so much work that they were not good for that type of house. They're good for like more like kitchen, bathroom, cosmetic stuff. when you remove beams and walls. I should have hired my other contractor, which is a little more expensive, but in the end, it cost me double of what I was supposed to spend. I was supposed to spend $50,000 on that house. I spent $100,000, so I made literally like $4,000 on it.
Oh, so you didn't lose?
No, but $4,000 after 8 months worth of work, like that's a loss.
All right, I can see that for sure. What was your biggest win?
My biggest win is this house in Pleasantville. Actually, it's under contract right now. I think we're gonna make 100 something on it.
Damn. Okay.
Doing nothing to it.
Wow.
So that was a good deal. It was out of nowhere. This lady thought she knew me. She reached out to me. She's like, I want to sell my house. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't even know who she was. I went to her house, and she confused me with this agent in our area. Her name is Madalina, and she thought that was her.
Jeez.
So that's how I got the house. That's my biggest win so far.
That's funny. Do you have any coaches right now? What do you do for personal development or education?
I do watch a lot of podcasts myself online. I read books. I try to read as much as I can, but I'm not gonna lie, I fall asleep after a page or two.
Yeah, so, it's hard to read when you're working so hard all day.
Yeah, it's tough. I try to journal. I try to keep myself busy, and again, meet with people like you, or people that are very successful, and I try to ask questions and learn as much as possible. Obviously, the industry is changing a lot, so you got to keep up with it and change with it and adjust with it. But that's basically what I do. I should get a coach, and my next thing on the list is getting a coach, because I do want to start a different business from real estate. Okay. And I think I know I need guidance, because I don't know where to start. Francisco actually recommended me to talk to Steve Pittman. Okay. And I'm probably gonna reach out to him about something. But yeah, it's
he has his hands in everything.
It seems like it.
And he's calm, cool, and collective all the time. He's always got something going on. So that's cool. What's your goals in the real estate world for 2024? We're like almost halfway through, so
I'm doing pretty good so far. I'm hoping to hit that 20 million mark this year and just get the platinum. Okay. But if I hope, we'll see. You never know. The things are changing. So
yeah.
And I hope, and I know that I'm gonna finish 20 flips this year. Just flips. I'm not talking about wholesaling and working with you guys and stuff like that. I'm just talking about flips. Mm-hmm. And that'll be amazing. I might go over it. We'll see. But yeah.
Awesome.
That's what I'm.
Where do you see your business in 3 years?
I see myself actually an entrepreneur. I see myself starting something different. How I said, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing, but I do want to start another business that I'm not going to be as much hands in. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be another source of income. I do want to acquire more rentals, and I want to leverage people a little more than I am right now, because that helps you focus better. And I feel like in the long run, you make more money like that than you being all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 years from now, how do you see your life? Kids, business, everything.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping in 10 years from now to be married and have kids, but that's not something that I could control. That's why business to me seems so easy, because you control it. I feel like, not that you could control it, but you have a saying. Mm-hmm. If you know that if you're making certain type of actions, it's going to give you a result, right?
Yep.
In your personal life, no matter like how many actions, you depend on other people, and it's more emotional and sentiments involved in other things that you can't say, hey, 10 years I'm going to have kids, or I'm going to be married, or whatever the case might be, because it doesn't depend on you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that I'm going to have kids, and I'm going to be married, and I hope that I am going to step a little back, mm-hmm. From doing what I'm doing right now. I hope like I'm going to grow my business to a point that's going to run more on itself, and he's not going to need me and my attention as much as he needs me right now. Obviously, I still want to be involved, but I don't want to be like as full hands-on as much, So I'm hoping to have a partner that could help me leverage that, and we could grow together,
Yeah, that's important. Someone that can help you grow your business and manage it while you do what you need to do at home.
Yeah.
So that's, I like that. One thing about you, like I've seen talent in you from the time we met, and people don't know this, but you run our office down in Linwood. And it's finally starting to become a little profitable. It took a while, but it also is our fault because we got to put money into it, right? There's marketing. And
it's a startup. It's a new startup, so it takes time a little bit, but I think we're doing good. I think we have two great, talented guys there. They're amazing. They're committed. They're there every day.
Exactly.
They're hitting that phones.
Well, that's a testament to you, because a big part, you just said that you're looking to leverage people, and this is good practice for you to learn. Like, all right, you brought in two guys. You first of all, we kept them for, 9 months now.
Yeah.
And they're working harder than our team does here. No joke. They probably make double the calls. And, they have a good attitude. They love working for you. So that's really a testament to you and, where you're heading. And that's, it's not easy to do that stuff.
No, I love it. I mean, I love it. I love them both. Like, they're amazing, both of them. Very positive mindset. We joke around. We listen to calls, like the calls that we get, and it's crazy. But it's it's fun, but it's also productive at the same time. We're productive when we have to be productive, and sometimes you crack a joke and you laugh a little bit, and you grab a lunch together.
Yeah.
So it keeps your day going. You go home and you don't feel like you're stressed, or you feel like like you gotta be detached from it. They feel good. I feel good. Everybody goes home and they're fine.
Yeah. So you got some big news. I think this month maybe might be jumping over you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yes, I do have big news. I was like, what news do I have? Yes, I am preparing to move to Hall of Fame realty, right?
Yeah, realty, yeah. HoF realty.
HoF.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
HoF.
We try to keep the two a little distant, but.
Yeah, I am. I'm getting my stuff over. I already have the first contract under Coffee's name instead of mine. And I have another one coming in. Probably is gonna go under his name again.
Okay.
And then I'll just do an addendum and move it. But for right now, just to get things moving. I have a lot of houses under contract there, but it's okay. I'm just like, this is the last. Next week is my last week there because I'm closing the 8 apartments finally.
Oh, are you good?
Yes,
that's huge.
I'm done.
Yeah.
They were. And I'm happy because they sold that for 800, so they're getting 400 each. Yeah. They're gonna buy another thing, so it's gonna give me some business too.
That's huge.
Yeah. So that's exciting. So I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, it just puts everything back to like, all right, I want to get you to platinum. That's gonna be one of my big goals this year. Is like, can I get Madalina there? You control the entire shore market for us, so that's gonna be big, and we're gonna keep feeding you down there. And then you also run our other division, so. Yeah. It's like the perfect storm, and I couldn't be happier to have someone like you running that ship down there. No. It's just,
I'm very happy working with you guys, and
awesome.
Having you and Jesse's amazing. He's so smart and so focused. This guy is like I don't know, he's like a computer almost. Like there is no stopping for him. Yeah. He's so smart, and you the same. You have so much knowledge, and you're a very personable person. It's easy to. For me right now, it's easy to talk to.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I just, I don't like doing this type of stuff, being in the front of cameras, but here I am talking to you.
No, it's good. We're gonna be a big year. I'm happy to get you over, and yeah, that's it. I think let's have a big 2024.
We will. So. I know we will. We're going to do great. We're going to crush it. Then it's going to go over a bigger 2025.
Awesome. Yep. Well, stay tuned. Appreciate you guys watching. We will be back next week, hopefully, with another guest. But Madalina, thank you for your time.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me here.
All right. See you guys.